Hey everybody, it's That's a Lot of Sodium, and I'm back here with another video, and this is going to be these are like my best coins, I would say, that I just got. So this is kind of like a best in show. So we're going to start off with, this. So this is an 1860 Indian head cent. So if you look at another cent from another Indian head cent, it's 1903. It's a lot thicker than the other ones, so I think that's interesting. That's just because of the year. I think the 1859 is actually a lot thicker, but and then next, this is a one cruiser, I don't know how to pronounce that, from 1816. So it's in the Austrian Empire, and it's from 1816, and it still has some of that original luster, which I think is really interesting. It is still pretty scratched up, but for a 204-year-old coin, that's pretty good. Next we have a Carlos III, King of Spain, 1800, Spanish 2 real silver coin. This is actually in the Red Book because it was still used a lot in America during the time. So next we have a Flying Eagle cent from 1857. It is pretty worn, but I think it is really interesting, and it is also much larger than your standard modern cent. And it does have similar stuff to the back of the Indian head cent, but they're still different. It does not have the shield. So that's really cool, because these were only made for 3 years. And they, in certain years, I think 1858, it's incredibly rare. Like, it's comparable to, like, the 1909 SVDB cent, I think. This is an ancient coin. I think it's probably medieval, somewhere around there. I don't think it's older just because it's pretty thin, but it also does not have like a edge per se. This was just pressed and then put out into circulation. I have no idea what it says or what denomination it is. If any of you guys actually know how old this coin is or anything about it, if you could leave that in the comments, that would be good, because I have no idea about it. I don't know what language this is written in. I can't find anything like it, but I think it's really cool. This is an error, 1943, struck through Greece. As you can see, the 19 and the 3 are very, very clear and obvious, and then the 4 you can barely see, and that's because it is the struck through Greece error. It's in pretty good condition. It does have a little bit of rust on it, as does most of the steel cents, but it's still really good condition, and of course it's an error, which is even better. Next we have a 3-cent piece from 1866. Philadelphia minted. Really cool. You can still see the full Liberty, just about. Next we have, this is a 5-cent piece from Canada. This is a Providence of Canada. 1890 5-cent piece with Queen Victoria on it. And finally, we have a 3-cent piece from 1853. It is silver. It was also minted in Philadelphia. And here is a 1859 1-cent piece, which I think is really interesting when you compare this with their 5-cent piece. So this 5-cent piece is a lot newer. It's about 40 years newer. But if you look at one from the same period, it's still, they have the large cent, and then the 5-cent piece is a fraction of the size, which I find pretty interesting. And this has the young head, Queen Victoria, on it. So those were some of the coolest coins I think I have at the moment. I have some tokens that are really interesting, but I think I'm going to do a full token video because I did receive a lot of what are pretty much tokens. So this is a 1854 Bank of Upper Canada. So I'm going to do this kind of thing. It's not technically a real penny. It is a half penny that's a token for the bank. So it's similar to, I think it's similar to with the really old bills in America, where they are for the banks, not for like the early 1800s ones. So I have a lot of those. I have one that's from the Civil War. See, this is another one. This doesn't have a year on it, but I think it's from the 1860s. So I have a lot of tokens. So I'm going to go over those, and I'll probably go over some other coins, a lot of my foreigns that I got in future videos. So that's just kind of like what's coming up. But as always, like, subscribe, and have a great day.